had just left behind, you know? Like when Eren wakes up in chapter 1, he had just left that 138 timeline. He had just died there in a very, very sad way. So he felt all the emotions of that. So when he woke up, tears came to his eyes. This is a Muv-Luv concept, but we don't need to actually get into Muv-Luv to explain it. And then she moves forward, and then he's like, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it now. The two of us abandoned everything, yada yada. And Mikasa herself remembers them running away together. And then when Eren even confirms that with her, he's like, wasn't it you who asked me that? She says, yes. I'm sorry, I know I wouldn't, I promised I wouldn't bring this up. So, in your opinion, is Mikasa lying? Is she acting? Is this a retcon? Or is this a memory?
Playing along.
Oh, so you're gonna tell me she's trolling? That's what you're gonna tell me. She saw a memory of it happening.
No. I think this is a past.
Hold on. Before you try to give me the Oscar acting stuff, let me show you something.
No, not just acting. It's
hold on. I got you. We're good. Take a look at General.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking at General?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna put 2 shots in there, and you can go ahead and explain to me how this is acting.
I mean, it's not just acting, but
yeah, bro, you're literally trying to tell me he's acting. I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit annoyed because I hate this response. It pisses me off because there's literally a panel of her thinking, seeing it happen, and then thinking back to it and confirming that yes, it happened.
I think it's a shared vision.
A shared vision?
Yeah, like paths. Like for example, when you look into chapter 1-7, when Armin and Zeke, what they see in paths is usually what they want to see. So, in a sense, if you can combine what they both want to see, and let's say, in a sense, maybe Eren, like, you know, looking back in 139, I guess we can assume that maybe he would down to live with Mikasa if things were different. So,
before you continue, let me just add one more detail. Mm-hmm. If this is what they both wanted to see, and it was only happening at that time, at that place, why does Eren see it in chapter 1?
I don't know.
He didn't have the founding Titan. The attack Titan only sees memories of future inheritors. So, how did he see it in chapter 1? You have no idea?
It's possible to explain it. Because it could be many things.
Well, how about the take that was the timeline where Eren died, or sorry, the loop where Eren died, and as soon as he dies, because if you notice, in the See You Later Eren, he sees Eren, then you see a black slate, right? Because his eyes have closed. And then they reopen, and he's in the manga. In your opinion, does this not make you feel like it's a loop? Is that not literally a description that looks like a loop?
If I didn't know the rest of the story...
Like, if you didn't know the rest of the story, wouldn't you think that's a loop?
Not necessarily, no. So I would think that it could be just foreshadowing of something tragical happening later on in the story.
Why does Eren see it?
I don't know. I just know that in fiction, there's a lot of times when people use this. Like, let's say you're having a nightmare, and you kind of foreshadow a future event in a nightmare. When I was reading chapter 1, that's how I see it. I could also... There was times when it crossed my mind, maybe it could be a loop. Maybe it could be like a foreshadowing, like maybe, you know, a kid is having a nightmare, which is kind of vague, you know. And definitely it's not fucking out there for no reason at all. Like, it clearly tries to tell something to the reader, but whatever it is, especially given when you're reading the story so early on, you cannot really prove one thing or another. It's just one of many things.
You don't actually think that Eren saw that?
I think he saw that. He literally
then how did he see it?
Why Mikasa's hair got longer. So
he clearly had a memory of that, whatever that was. Because he even asked her, why did your hair get longer?
I mean, that's the thing. Perhaps it was the paths, Eren, you know, the one that controls, he can, you know, the thing with the paths, you can be present, past, future at the same time. And since Eren is, how do you put this, in the paths, you know, maybe he can, in theory, just send his own memories to his kid self. Whether it's possible or not, I'm not really qualified to explain it. So take this with a grain of salt. That could be a possibility. It could be that when chapter 1 was happening, Isayama didn't know how he's gonna conclude the story, because it was like, how many years ago when chapter 1 came out? Just a while, you know? Maybe he didn't think, maybe at the time he actually considered looping, maybe he considered something else, but
so you don't think that
the intent, I don't think it really changes much, Because in my opinion, it just basically works this way that it foreshadows Aaron's death. Most
Okay,
likely,
but
you
you
can't
don't
read
think
it
that Aaron
and
knew
say
that? So you don't think that Isayama knew that Aaron just died of the curse of Ymir in the cabin
no,
and
I think
woke up
that
in the
it
manga?
basically. I think Simon knows that Aaron will die by Mikasa,
No, no,
but
that's not
I
what I'm
don't
asking
think he
you.
knows the specifics.
That's not what I'm
Okay.
saying. I'm
Hmm?
saying if we see in chapter 1 the way he dies, he dies in a peaceful way, right? He dies in a sitting position, right? Like we're meant to believe,
Chapter
like
one.
if you believe in chapter 138, sorry, the timeline from 138, if you believe that Aaron died of the curse of Ymir from like 13 years, he would just die. He would just like close his eyes, wake right back up, blah blah blah, whatever. Even if you
Mhm.
don't think that it's like anything important, then why would Isayama
No,
go to the
I'm not
length
saying
of?
it's not important. I'm just saying that I think it's most likely just a style of foreshadowing. Well, as I said before, it might be just like showing the reader a nightmare. Like you had a nightmare sequence where you kind of see your own death, and then you wake up, and it
But
becomes
you
awake.
but you have no logical explanation as to why he can see that. I don't understand. Like I don't
Because
understand why you're so
stories are
adamant
written
on
to be
maintaining that
subtle.
opinion.
No, because stories are written to be subtle. You don't have to just, spoon feed information to the reader. Like the saying is wake, it's ambiguous. You can't just tell
Okay, okay, okay,
exactly
okay,
what's
okay.
trying to convey. It could be many things. You could be
Listen,
right. Maybe the intent was to show loops. Who the fuck knows? I'm just saying that
like I
it
would
could
agree
be
with you
just
if the
foreshadowing.
I would agree with you if the editor himself was unable to confirm or deny that it was a time loop. Like he literally references the first chapter and he's like, "Is it a time loop or not?" I'm not able to confirm that or not. And he even brings up the fact that there's certain
I
things that
mean,
exist.
technically, I don't think he's allowed to say it because it would like if he would say it's a time loop,
If
then
the story was over, he would be allowed to say it. He talks about this after the story ended. So you're telling me he's scared to give details
oh, he
after the
said that.
story ended?
Okay, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
mean, okay, fair enough then. I mean, even then, I don't really think it's gonna change much, but perhaps there is a loop, but maybe it's taking a different form of looping in the story. I mean, Attack on Titan takes this approach, I think, in the storytelling where there's this sense of how things always gonna play out the same. And even if you look at the paths, perhaps Aaron sees everything happening, like, the same shit over and over again. So maybe that's what they could mean by the loop. It's different from time loop, but there's this sense of loop. Maybe editor thinks about that. Maybe he thinks about time loop. I can confirm or deny, but I don't think it's really talking about that one thing.
So
Maybe it does exist.
I tagged you in something in general. You can take a look at it.
Yeah, sure, one
So
sec.
in my opinion, Ifeoma did confirm to us that it was a loop, just because of the fact that he numbered this page where Aaron wakes up. For me, that's confirmation that it is a loop. Just because
Wait,
that
this one. Aaron,
you see in chapter 1, the bottom, there's a number 13.
number
And
13, yeah.
yeah, that is the only numbered panel in the entire manga. Like you can flip through the entire story as much as you want. You're not going to find another one. So do you think Isayama just randomly put a 13 there? And
Probably
that's
not
the
if there's no other number, yeah.
yeah. It seems intentional, right?
I mean, yeah,
So
it could
if
be.
that in mind, look. If that in mind, we think that yeah, that 13 is referencing the fact that in the previous loop, Aaron died of the curse of Ymir. If we do think that, like if we confirm that suspicion, it means that Isayama did know about everything that would happen all the way to the end from the beginning. And if he did know that, or at least he knew at the very least, he knew about the cabin. He knew about chapter 138 because he knew Aaron would die of the curse of Ymir. And if he knew that Aaron would die of the curse of Ymir, it's quite literally a time loop. There's no other explanation for it because Aaron had died
Yeah,
in
but
some other place and some
but
other
that would
time.
be just speculations. I don't think
Uh,
we would get anywhere with this because it would be speculation. Maybe it's a loop, maybe it's not. In my
Velo,
opinion,
Velo, 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 Velo. Listen. The
hmm?
story has given you a situation where Mikasa, who cannot be affected by the founding titan's power, has her own memories of something happening, and your answer to me is she's acting. She even confirms,
I mean,
yes,
I
I
wasn't
promised
given a
I would
chance to explain how I see the whole thing, but
look.
yes.
You even said, she even says, I know I promised I would never bring this up. Like she has her own memories of it. She has her own understanding of it. She even asked
Mhm.
Aaron, "Oh, when did I fall asleep?" So she clearly has a feeling that she was there before. And I'm trying to explain to you that yeah, this is her own memory
I
that
don't
she's
think
visiting.
I don't think it's saying that she was there before. I just think it hints that she's been in that sequence for a while. I think that's what it implies.
at the point that she wakes up, she had knowledge prior to that point of waking up. If you truly believe that in that moment that it was simultaneously going on, like Aaron dragged her into the path at that moment, right before she killed him, right?
Mhm.
If you believe that, that means she should not have any knowledge prior to that point. Because Aaron had brought her into the paths before. Did she suddenly start acting then? No, she was completely aware of what was going on. And I'll go one step further. An actual paths meeting, Armin and Aaron in 139, both of them were completely cognizant of the fact that the rumbling was going on. They were completely aware of what was happening. They were completely aware that the battle was about to go down. But Mikasa, on the other hand, had no fucking clue. So either you're telling me she's the world's greatest actor, and even you can understand why that sounds stupid as fuck. Like, either she's the world's greatest actor and Isayama retconned his
I
own
think
story,
you kind of
or
overlook one piece of
it's a time
dialogue.
loop.
No, I think you're overlooking one piece of the
What?
dialogue. Before she enters into that path's thing, right?
She says, I
She
want to
says
go
that
back.
she wants to forget everything. She wants to go back, right?
She doesn't say, I want to
I
forget
think
everything. She says, I want to go
maybe
back
she doesn't.
home.
I don't, remember every single chapter specifically. I don't read this manga religiously. Not no offense. I'm not trying to diss you or anything. Just it kind of came out that way. Sorry, but
I mean, you literally did, but go ahead.
no, I didn't. I didn't mean it intentionally. Just came out that way. Sorry. Honestly, it wasn't meant to be that way.
Whatever, just make your point.
Yeah, but I think when she says no, I want to go back. I just think that it becomes her imagination in a sense, because perhaps combines like a shared sequence, between people. So I assume Eren is letting her, see what she wants to see. And what she wants to see manifests into paths. So, for example, if she remembers something in the past, it's because she wants to think that she did those things. For example, if you look at chapter 1 to 3, right, where she asks Eren, "What am I to you?" She gives like this, family answer. And then later in the same chapter, she says, "What if I gave a different answer?" And then we go to chapter 138, where this situation is explored in the paths. And she imagines what would happen. And even then, you have Eren that is basically guilt tripping her. He's like saying, look, you're getting your sequence. You get everything as you what imagined. In a way, it's like Eren's way of doing the farewell thing with her, but at the same time, she's getting to experience what she wanted to experience, and is basically just telling her that even if that's where to happen, it would never work. And that's how Eren is forcing her a little by little just to let it go and do what she has to do. I think that's what happens.
Okay.
And in a way, she might be aware of this, as a path sequence, but she subconsciously just gives up to think that much because she wants to experience this. You can argue this is selfish, but that's what Mikasa was for the last arc. She was really out of there. She had troubles to think, to focus on what has to be done. And because of this sequence, she finally did what she had to do.
Bro, she literally said, yes, I will stop Eren within 5 seconds of Hanji asking her. You're really telling me she had no idea what you wanted to do?
But she was coping there. I don't, because later on in chapter 138, no, let me look.
You said she's coping there. There's no way.
No, she said that she thinks that she can stop him, but when Annie later asked her, "You have to stop Eren," and she said that she's out of there. She's not prepared at all. She thinks she was ready, but she wasn't. That's why you have this panel when Annie says that we have to kill Eren, and she's fucking out of there. Do you think that she was prepared by that moment?
Listen, if you truly think that chapter 138 was something that was going on at that time, at that place, for one, you can't really explain chapter 1 in that case. But number two,
You can.
no, you can't. You literally told me I don't know why Eren saw those shit. But number two,
I gave possible explanations. I'm not saying
a possible explanation, and it sounds completely random. It's not a true explanation. But let me give you one more point that might.
You think you're giving anything different?
What do you mean? Neither is mine. I'm saying that like one.
No, you
one
think your explanation is different from just a possible explanation. We don't really know. You cannot tell me that you think you know what's actually there.
Okay, but I'm saying that 138 happened prior to the manga's beginning, and the official Shingeki.net, the official site of the fucking manga, literally took the panel from 138 and called it the prologue of the entire series. Yeah. What does the prologue mean to you?
Because it's updated panel from chapter 1 in a sense. Look at other chapters they updated. They took many.
So what is the prologue, bro? Like, what are we doing here? You're telling me that Pan's dream happened in the prologue?
You're not letting me to speak. if you look at chapter 2, 3, and 4, they have a lot of these updated panels that have like
Where?
the same scenes.
What?
You have to go to look into the website. I don't have the website with
Okay,
me, but
okay,
if
but
you
that
have
doesn't change the
children,
fact. It doesn't change the fact that that scene happened before the manga started. That is my point to you. That is why I'm trying to say it's a Pad's dream.
it
Like I
doesn't
don't
change
understand.
it. Oh, it is a prologue in the sense because this Paps was foreshadowed from chapter 1. That's why it's called prologue. And it used updated art because
Bro,
chapter 1's
you don't
art is
understand what a
bad.
prologue is. Like I'm starting
I
to
do
think you don't know what a
understand. I
prologue
know
is.
what prologue is.
Hold on, let me Google this.
I know what it
Prologue.
is.
A
I'm just
separate
saying it.
introductory section of a literary work or musical work. An event or
And that's
action
what I'm
that leads
saying.
to another event or another
And that's
action.
exactly what I am saying right now.
That is not what you're saying. You're
Okay,
telling me
then what
that
is what I'm
you're telling
saying?
you literally told me it's a nightmare that Aaron saw and like it's
No,
foreshadowing what will
what I
happen.
just said, not before, now. What was my point into prologue? What did I say?
That they're updating it. They're
Updating
updating the
how?
panels.
What?
They're updating the
I,
panel with newer version or something. I don't know. It's something. It
so
doesn't
so
change
were
the
you
fact that it's a
listening or not?
prologue.
So you
The
weren't
pro-
listening to my point.
oh, the problem is that I am listening, but continue.
Okay, once again, the thing is, the prologue in chapter 1, the dream sequence is considered prologue. That's why it's titled prologue. And
Okay.
if you look at the many chapters, most of these early scenes in the manga, they're updated with later chapters that, for example, when you look at chapter, was it Chub and Eren, like Hannes is holding Eren, or what chapter 1 where Hannes is holding Eren, they're running away? In chapter 130, they're just showing, I think, the exact same panel. They're just updating that art.
Okay,
And
but
that half sequence
Velo,
is
you
just
don't
considered
understand why
prologue.
you don't understand why I'm getting. You don't understand why I'm disagreeing with you. I'm saying even if they update the art, it doesn't change the fact that the prologue happens before the manga. Do you understand what I'm saying? A prologue is something that happens before the main story. Do you get what I'm saying? Even if you update an art of something that happens, it doesn't change the fact that that event happened at that time, at that place. That's what I'm trying to tell
But
you
you
right
saw in
now.
chapter 1 the whole dreams thing.
Bro, I'm saying just because they update the art doesn't mean suddenly, it's just an updated panel. It doesn't mean anything. I'm trying to say that the fact that it's a prologue still means that it happened before the manga. That is the basis of my argument. That it's a loop. Aaron has already lived a different life, so your whole it's like a repeated sequence. Aaron will just
No,
go
you
through
just
over and
don't
over.
get what I'm saying. I have to explain it in a different way. It is considered a prologue because of the way it was structured in the chapter 1. That is how narrative structure works
But
sometimes.
you're saying it didn't happen before the manga. That's what you're saying. It happens later, but it's a prologue.
It does happen later, but Aaron is experiencing a dream, and it kind of can work as a prologue. That's how narrative is, how it is structured narratively. That's what
So
I'm
you're
trying
saying
to.
it's bullshit. That's what you're telling me. You're telling
I'm
me
not
it's
saying it's
bullshit.
bullshit. I'm saying it's foreshadowing in a sense, and it's structured that way. It's
It,
just a structure, man. Do you know what structure is in narrative?
Do you realize foreshadowing without any actual basis makes no fucking sense? Like, what is foreshadowing if Aaron has no Titans?
Foreshadowing is meant to be subtle and wait. You can you're not gonna
Okay,
spoon feed information to the reader,
so
especially in
what other
chapter
time?
1.
What other time have we seen a foreshadowing like that, which had absolutely no basis but still happened? Give me another
Uprising,
example. If no,
uprising, skeleton Aaron,
give
uprising,
me
skeleton.
no. Skeleton Aaron. That
Okay,
was
so you
literally.
don't want to say skeleton Aaron wasn't foreshadowing of his big Titan thing?
You're saying skeleton Aaron was Aaron seeing a dream or some sort of nightmare sequence. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying skeleton
He
Aaron.
was literally within his Titan body. The way his art is drawn doesn't suddenly mean he was seeing some dream sequence.
No, but
I'm
I'm
asking
saying
you,
it could
when did Aaron
foreshadow
see?
something there.
When
Maybe
did
it
Aaron?
was
No.
foreshadowing.
Bro, I understand that, but I'm saying show me another time that Aaron dreamt something with foreshadowing and it just appeared out of nowhere without his Titan powers.
I mean, I can't just think of anything of my mind. Maybe there
Oh
wasn't.
no. Take your time. Take your time. I'll wait.
I mean, maybe there wasn't. I can think of, but what comes to my mind is Simon's foreshadowing in general, his style of foreshadowing. That's why I
Okay.
brought out
Okay, if
the
that's his style,
skeleton.
then show me another example. Show me another example where Aaron just randomly has a dream sequence or a nightmare and it foreshadows something that's yet to happen and he has no tights at the same time. If you can do that for me, then I'll be like, yeah, that was just some foreshadowing. Good stuff, Yams. That was very, very good. But if you don't, you're kind of admitting to me that you don't know.
I mean, that doesn't disprove that this one scene was still a foreshadowing scene.
Okay,
Maybe he
but
just didn't. Even if he
can you see
decides
why
not
I
to
would?
use the same style, it doesn't disprove that it's not foreshadowing.
Oh, I agree. It is foreshadowing, but it's foreshadowing of the time loop. It's not foreshadowing of an event that will happen later. That's my
Why not?
angle.
Why it cannot be a foreshadowing of a future event that might happen? Which
Because
basically hints that one of these characters might die, possibly Aaron.
okay,
Is
look,
it that hard to get it? Like, what's the
no, no, no,
problem?
no, no, no. There is a big problem. Aaron had no titans at that moment. So here's what I'm trying to say. I'm
Mhm.
trying to say because the attack titan transcends time. Like you literally could have gone a much simpler angle. Okay, because the attack titan transcends time. Because Aaron was right in that place at that time. Let's say that I'm right. Let's say that the cabin was a loop that happened before the manga, right? Because Aaron had seen that right before he what's the word? Like restarted the loop, went back to the tree. He saw what happened last, and because of that, it was kind of how do I say? The residue of it was still on him because he transcends time, because his Titan transcends time, and because of that fact, he was able to see a vision of what he last saw before he died. That is how I view it. The canon itself literally tells us that his Titan transcends time. But you're
Mhm.
telling me that he saw a random dream sequence and that it was
Not just
foreshadowing of.
no. I said before it could have been Aaron himself sending these memories.
So you think that Aaron sent himself a memory in order to watch himself kill?
I mean, not necessarily. I'm just saying it's
Because
one of the possibilities. I'm saying the way it could be potentially done. I don't know how
no,
it's exactly
no,
done.
I understand all that, but I'm saying that is what you're implying. Because
No,
one,
I mean, I
if you're
think
saying that
most
no, no, no,
likely scenario would be that he can see the memories because he's an Eldian. The same way, let's say Frida can manipulate memories of the kid Historia, right? I don't think it's
she was
impossible
the
for
founding
him.
titan.
And he is a founding titan in the
No,
past.
not in that moment. In that
In what
moment, he was
moment?
not the founding titan when he saw the vision.
Yes, but he was a founding titan much later in the future, and he can send memories maybe from the future into
Maybe
the past. Maybe. Who knows?
that's not how his power works. His power is to see memories of a future inheritor.
As an attack titan, yes, but he is a founder titan and he holds the power of the paths, which is a lot different now.
Oh, I see.
Because he
So
unlocks
you're saying
different
that
modes. He
future
becomes
Aaron.
slightly different
You're
the
saying
moment.
future Aaron went and manipulated and put the memory inside of Kid Aaron's head, which ended up leading to absolutely nothing. That's what you're telling
Could
me.
be. Could be, maybe he just wants to send himself. I don't fucking know. I'm
Okay.
saying I'm just trying to explain a possible mechanic that how it could work. I'm not saying it's
Okay.
definitely gonna happen,
Okay. Okay.
but it
Okay.
kind of makes sense.
So
I'm not saying it's. I
we
don't think it's
can.
impossible to happen. That's what I'm saying.
So we can move on to another point if you don't want
Yeah,
to conclude
sure.
this one, because it seems to me like you're not going to admit to me that 138 is a timeline.
I mean,
Like,
because
if you don't agree with that, then I guess we're just going to move on to the next point because I don't know. Shit
sure.
happens.
I think we're just gonna go in circles. So whatever.
I mean, we will continue to go in circles if we just keep headcanoning stuff, but
I mean, I don't think I'm headcanoning.
how
I'm
is it
just
not
saying
headcanon? You literally told me he had a dream sequence that meant nothing.
headcanon is when you believe something. I don't believe that these things are 100% possibilities. I just think they
Okay,
might.
but do you admit that it's more likely that it's a loop than a random nightmare?
It could be. I don't fucking know.
Just say yes or no. Just let me say yes or no so
I
so
think
I
it's
can move on.
unlikely. I think it's more to be unlikely, not
But you
impossible.
admitted it was possible to be a loop.
Yeah, it is a possibility, but it's like 10% at best, in my opinion.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, and
free
the
to change my
90% is the
mind.
nightmare sequence.
Not necessarily 90, I'd give it like 60.
60% is a nightmare sequence, 10% is a loop. Okay, got it. Cool, cool, cool. The math makes
I mean,
sense.
there's other alternative options if I could think of something else. So maybe let's leave like 30, 40% for something else as well.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna move on to I guess the next point.
By the way, sorry, 1 minute. Be back.
Why was there a nightmare sequence? Sid, I have no idea. I don't know what the nightmare sequence is, bro. He just I don't know. I don't know. But no, you guys saw that, right? Literally at one point he admitted, yeah, maybe there is a loop. He did the exact same thing that Corzo did. He was like, there's a loop, but it's not changing. Like he's trying to say it's like a fixed loop or something. But that would also be admitting that there is a time loop. So either way he loses.
But I'm back. By the way, I heard I said that there's a loop which is different from a time loop. There's two
Yeah,
different
you're
things.
saying it's a closed loop. Like he'll repeat the same actions and then he'll fail, right?
No, that. I'm saying that when you enter the paths, everything can be looping because of the way the paths can work. I think that's what I'm trying to say. there's this like sense in the storytelling, this looping that everything is gonna happen the same, and you're powerless to stop that. I think this sort of looping does exist. I just don't think it's like time looping where Aaron returns at the exact same moment. I'm or not.
Well, I guess, but then why would Aaron feel the need to manipulate Dinah or Grisha?
Because if he wants to ensure that certain events happen in a way,
No. But they're
he has
fixed. So why should he do that?
because determined timeline, the
Yeah,
time.
no, you're right. It's determined. So why would he do that?
Because when you have a determined line, right, everything will happen that way. It will be already determined.
Right. But
And the thing is,
we
he
never actually
cannot
saw the
change
Dinah
it.
thing. We never saw the Dinah manipulation. He just said that he did it, and he made us aware that he
You
did
don't
it
need to
while
say it. It's bloody obvious that he did
he
it.
literally did it as a founding titan. So if he did that, then why did he? Then what was the point? It was determined. He didn't need to do that.
Because as he said himself, it wasn't Berthold's time to die yet. He needed this event to
So
happen.
he did something. He made a choice.
Yes, which was determined. Because if he wanted the things to play out the way they did, it had
So
to
you're
happen.
telling me that because he wanted something, he did something. So you're admitting that he has a
It's
choice.
not that he wants. If he wants to be in paths, right? That means it's going to be determined that these things that he doesn't really wish to happen, they will happen. He doesn't wish
So
his
he didn't
mother
actually
to
do it.
die. He did. I'm trying to say, look, he's a making, not, okay, it's not like a choice. It's more like he has to make a decision, okay? He doesn't want his fucking mother to die. I think that's bloody obvious to everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to come into the paths and the story to play out the way it does, he has to make this decision and has to do this. Otherwise, the story would, because otherwise the story would be completely different. He would not be in paths. That's what Isama, I think, is implying in the scene. You're free to disagree and disprove me if you want, but I think that's what's the point there.
I disagree. I disagree. I think it's not how that works. I think Aaron saw future memories, and because he liked the destination that he would end up at, he opted to follow those memories. I don't think he was like determined to follow this path.
Okay,
I
so
believe
what
that
do you
it was a
think he
path that he
means?
chose to follow.
Okay, so what do you think he means when he says that it wasn't Bertolt's time to die yet? What he means by that?
So he saw future memories, and in those future memories, he saw Berthold get ignored by Dinah, and because of that future memory, he opted, yeah, this is the manipulation that needs to occur.
So
Look in general. You see these memories from chapter 130?
yeah.
You see how on the far right there's the Berthold? So
right.
Aaron, when he received the memories of the future,
Mhm.
and in my interpretation, it was the memories of the anime loop. But even if you disagree with that, it doesn't really matter because we can just still
I
continue.
mean, 139, he literally confirms it. So why we're arguing this?
No, listen. So he saw the memory of Berthold. He literally revisits that same memory in 139. And because of that fact, because he believes that these memories will lead him to that destination, that site, whatever it may be, he had to do it. And even if he doesn't want his mother to die, like obviously he loves his mother more than anything, he doesn't want her to die. But because it's part of a path that will lead to his victory, he still ends up doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he says, even if all of this was set in stone to start, even if all of this was what I wanted, so he admits he does want it, he opts to follow it because he realizes that it will give him what he wants at the end of the day. And I don't think that's something that's determined by causality or like, I don't know, hard determinism, whatever you want to call it. I believe that's the conscious choice that Aaron made of his own free will. And let's say for a moment, like just grant me that the cabin was a loop, for the sake of my argument, grant me that was a loop. He admits that he saw the future of he saw the future of the rumbling. In my theory, that he saw it in every single time he went to Historia and kissed her hand in the mel ceremony, he saw the memories that he saw. But in the cabin's events, he opted to turn his back on it because he couldn't destroy all of humanity outside the walls, and he couldn't sacrifice Historia. Blah 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 blah. Whatever the case may be, he ended up regretting it. And in the next time go around, he decided to follow his future memories. I don't view that as determinism as much as, well, I do grant that there is an aspect to determinism, but I believe it's completely because of the paths. I don't believe that it's some, external power that's controlling Aaron's will. I believe that he himself put those manipulations into place based on the future memories that he saw.
Okay, so basically, you don't think when Aaron is saying that it wasn't Bertolt's time to die yet, you don't think that Aaron was the one that made Bertolt to live there. Am I
No,
getting this?
when Aaron said it wasn't his time to die yet, he meant it wasn't his time to die in the memories that he had seen. Do you know what I mean? Of the future, you see that Berthold there is an actual future memory. Like it's not just some
Okay.
bullshit. You literally see him right there.
Okay,
Aaron going off of those memories because Aaron himself admitted that all of these memories is what he wanted because they end up leading him where he wants to go. And if that Berthold memory it was part of that path, he opted to follow it. Even in the beginning of the chapter, he literally admits to Armin that he had done everything for the sake of the future that he saw using the Attack Titan's power. Literally the first line of 139. Hey, I get it. You did it for the sake of the future you saw using the Attack Titan's power. But did you really have to beat me to a pulp? And that goes to the point. See the memory shard of Armin all beat up in his future memories? He had to follow those memories because he wanted the future that it would give him. And that is the point. I'm trying to say to you, Aaron was following those memories because he believed he would win at some point. Like he would arrive at some result of some choice that Mikasa would end up making, right? But he also admits, I don't know what will happen after I die. But if he does not know what happens after he dies, whose memories allowed him to see that result?
Okay, so
because all of the future memories that he has from his father's memories, we can see that they're either through Aaron's eyes or through an Eldian's eyes, right? And if the curse, let's say the curse really did end in 139. I don't believe the Titan curse ended. I think they're stupid. I think it's still going on. I believe the bird continuing to move around and wrap the scarf proves that the power of the Titan is still active, and it proves that Aaron's will is still active. But
okay, well, never mind. Just go on. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll explain it to you at the end. I don't believe that the Titan curse ended. And if we believe that Aaron saw the result of Mikasa's choice, he literally says, I did it all for the sake of Mikasa's choice, that result, arriving at that result. How did he see that result if he doesn't know what happens after he dies?
Wait, repeat the last sentence. He doesn't see the result of what? Sorry.
Okay, look, let me play it first slow, okay? I did not know what will happen after I will die. Like he says, I don't know what will happen after I die. Aaron says those words to Armin in 139. But he also says prior to that point, that he had seen the result of Mikasa's choice. Whose memories allowed him to see that result?
Mimir's. It's that simple.
Did you say Ymir?
Yeah. I think he sees the result from making Mimir's memories. Because if he can look into her, if he can look into the past, he can see the future memories. Why not? Where else is he gonna get? Where else is gonna find?
If the curse ended, how will he see memories?
He can see the memories before the curse ends. Right in that moment, it still does exist.
That's not a result.
That's where his reach of his memories goes. The moment he dies, he never loses the connection to the past. He can't see shit because that's where.
So you're telling me that
memories goes.
Let me get this straight. You're telling me that through his father's memories, Aaron saw something through Ymir's eyes.
No. That's because he wasn't the paps. At that moment, I think he doesn't need his father's memories anymore.
The future,
he can see more.
The future memories that he saw in the medal ceremony. That is what I'm talking about. That is what Aaron refers to when he says he sees the result of Mikasa's choice. But he also says he does not know what happens after he dies. And you're telling me that he saw the Titan curse being over through Ymir's eyes despite the fact that she evaporated.
Wait. Are you telling me you think that 139 is talking about the ceremony memories and not just Aaron's whole collection of memories in the whole story?
Hold on. I knew you would say some stupid shit like that, so just wait a minute. Just wait a minute and look at General. Look at General.
Sure.
Here you go. The only thing I know for sure is the result of Mikasa's choice. All of it has been to arrive at that result. That's why I move forward. Blah, 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 blah. Armin, that was the future you saw at the medal ceremony. You've been all alone since then. No, it is not based on all Aaron's complete memories as the founder. That's bullshit. It's based on the future that he saw in the medal ceremony. And part of that future was the result of Mikasa's choice. What do you mean that's based on Armin says?
That's what Armin thinks.
No. You're telling me that Armin is trolling? No. I'm done.
I'm not saying that Armin is
This debate is over. You're telling me that Armin is lying. Yo, I'm done.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Armin is lying. I'm saying what Armin assumes. I'm not saying that.
You're telling me that ECL was going to like some 12th layer and having characters misinterpret each other during their own conversation?
I mean, look at the fucking dialogue. There's a scene where fucking Armin says, "Wait, what are you saying?" And Aaron is like, "Wait, have I have to repeat something to you?" I'm pretty sure. Like, let me read this fucking scene myself for a second.
That's not what
Because I'm
happened.
pretty sure
The,
in
re-
one.
the reason why he says the reason why he says where was I is because they were literally looking at the fucking sites together. Like they were looking at the flowing water, the river, blah 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 blah. Like they're like, where did I leave off? It's not that he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's the fact that they were enjoying the sights together. There's a big difference there. But in the situation that I brought up with the resulting cost of choice, Aaron says it before, and then afterwards, Armin says that was the future you saw in the medal ceremony. So if it was, that means there was no founder's power. There's no founder's memories. All of those memories are part of the Attack Titan's power that he saw in the medal ceremony, right? Seeing those memories of a future inheritor and whatnot. If that is the case, and Aaron admits that he did not see what happens after he dies, whose memories allowed him to see the result of Mikasa's choice?
Fuck me, man. You got me good here, old man.
And I'll one up you right now, okay?
Let me read a bit though.
When you know how Aaron can use birds to move memories around, right? Like you agree with that, right?
I don't think he used memories of Bertolt to move him. He just
no. I said Aaron can use birds, like birds, the flying creatures, birds. He can use their eyes to see memories. Like the Falco memory in chapter 130. You literally see it through the eyes of a bird. So we know that, yeah, he can use birds to move memories, right?
I guess I never understood this mechanic, how the birds have.
Yeah, well, I know, like it's no point understanding it. Like you agree that, like, yeah, he saw a memory of Falco through a bird's eyes. Like it doesn't really make a lot of fucking sense, but it happened, right? Like we know that Aaron uses fucking birds, right?
I can see this happening, but at the same time, I didn't, and I never put that much thought into it because it's fucking bird at all in the first place. But
yeah, it is kind of
argument. Let's say yeah, it happens. I don't really care that much about this part.
Yeah, no, but my point is, it's not the point about the fucking birds that matters. My point to you is, if the Titan curse ended, right? That means Aaron's will would no longer be active. Like that, like he's dead, right? Like the Titan curse doesn't exist. He can't use those birds anymore, right? Right?
Oh.
Right. Wait, this is the part where you agree with me. This is the part where you say, yes, the Titan curse ended. Aaron should not be able to do shit, right?
So he sees memories of
No. I'm saying Aaron should not be able to use these birds anymore because he's fucking dead. The Titan curse is over. But if that's the case, why the hell is this bird still wrapping the scarf around Mikasa?
Because the thing is, the paths can exist.
The paths, it's over, fool. It's completely done. The Titan curse ended in 139. If you believe that, the paths don't exist anymore. Ymir literally evaporated into thin air. We saw the fucking source of all life evaporate. The big worm, it disappeared.
Yeah, but paths is timeless.
No. You can't use that anymore because it's over. It's over. Okay, whatever you want to say, it's over.
It's been a specific time, but
what? How are you gonna say at a specific time? You're telling me that Aaron can influence shit after his death? That's what you're trying to tell me?
Over in the physical world, but paths itself, the location, is
no.
Time.
Yeah. Okay, but that goes wrong because those birds are acting in the real world. They're not acting in the paths.
Man,
in the real world.
Are we really gonna discuss the birds? I don't know how to.
No. Please don't try to deflect because birds seem like a stupid thing to discuss. No. But I'm saying,
how can you actually debate birds?
No, I'm. The point is not the fucking birds, bro. Like you're not understanding what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that clearly the power of the Titans is still active, despite the fact that supposedly it had ended, right? And if it is still active
in the physical world, yes.
No, you said only in the pads, only the physical. No, but that's my point. All this shit is happening in the physical world, despite Eren being dead, despite supposedly Mikasa making some choice. But if the result of her choice did not wipe out the power of the Titans, which Armin said it would, that means Mikasa made the wrong choice.
Okay, but do you understand that there's a thing which is called Paps is not a physical world. Paps is different. Therefore, the time there is not bound to the physical world. So, isn't it possible that the bird is connected to the paths?
But the paths are wiped out. It's over. It's finished. Nada. It's gone.
So it's wiped out from the physical world.
No, it's gone. Period. Ymir is gone. There's no one in the fucking pads to do anything. Aaron is
And
dead.
why?
Ymir is
Okay,
gone.
so why not? So isn't it possible that Aaron moves this bird? I can't believe I'm talking about fucking birds. Isn't it possible that Aaron moves these birds before that happens with Ymir? Because sometimes, once again, it's not bound with the
No,
time.
but here's what you're. If you say that, that means you're telling me that Aaron set up this bird to wrap up Mikasa's scarf before he died.
I don't fucking know. Maybe. I mean, once again, the birds thing is
Maybe?
so fucking. It's
No,
stupid, man.
no. See, now this is the part. This is the part where I enlighten you. This is where I give you answers, okay? And I'll tell you what actually happened. The reason why the fucking stupid birds is continuing to wrap the stupid scarf around Mikasa's stupid neck is because Aaron had made a founder's vow to wrap that fucking scarf around her neck forever, as much as she wants.
But if you argue that the paths is gone, so that vow is no longer viable,
No,
then
that's
it
my
shouldn't
point.
exist anymore.
I'm telling you that the pads are not gone. I'm telling you that the power of the Titans is not gone.
I
It
don't
may be
think that's the
dormant,
case.
but it's not
I
gone.
think in theory, what you can do is order that before paths is gone.
What? Say that again?
I think what you can do with the paths, since it's not bound by the time, technically, I assume that there could be a time mechanic or something like that where you can fucking birds. You can order the birds to do this shit before the
But that would require an active founding Titan. Now, wouldn't it? Ymir and or Eren. Both of them are gone. So who's doing it?
Eren in the paths.
Oh no. Eren's dead. No, you can't just keep using Eren. The paths did it. He's fucking.
I mean, you're
dead.
not really trying to disprove this. Why not? Why?
I don't need to disprove it. I have the story right here in front of me.
Is paths established to be a place not bound by the physical world or time itself? Yes or no?
Yes, you're
and
right.
What does it mean?
Yes, but you realize that the pads can only exist so long. The pads can only be connected to the real world so long as there's actual subjects of Ymir's to be connected to. There has never been something that happened within the real world without a subject of Ymir holding the founding titan actually imposing those effects. Dinah being manipulated by fucking Eren happened by the founding titan in the pads. Fucking Eren influencing the past through Grisha, he visited his memories in the pads. Now, if that's the case, that means there needs to be an active founding titan actually doing these things. And if that's the case, if the source of the titan evaporated, you have to grant me that Eren is still moving on after death. He's still moving forward.
Can we consider another fucking possibility, which is extremely irresponsible? But what if the whole bird thing is just an asshole and we're overthinking this?
Don't you think? Asshole, really? Okay, I got you right now, fam. I got you. Since you want to pull that card.
No. Let's ask this one question. Are the fucking birds subjects of Ymir?
The birds are fucking part of nature. Did you miss the point? Did you miss the point?
No.
Did you? No. You can't. You have to grant me this. You have to grant me this because the source of life exists. Is the source of the Titans not the source of all life? It is, isn't it? And if fucking Titans can be the source of all life, you don't
never stated what it exactly is in the story.
Bro, Zeke literally says life itself. Are birds not part of life?
Yeah, everything is part of life. That doesn't mean
exactly. That's my point. A founder can make anything because it's literally connected to nature itself. That is my point to you. Yeah.
No, the paths only affect subjects of Ymir.
Oh, but no, I'm saying the pads can only impose onto the real world on the command of a founding titan / subject of Ymir. But they're still using. No, but you realize that no matter what shape or form you slice it, it's still the source of all life at the end of the day. It's not like some random shit that's going on. It's not a separate thing.
Fucking implication. No one knows what it exactly is.
Knows what is. Bro, Zeke calls it the source of all life. Okay, no, but we're getting sidetracked. Okay, but you were telling me, yeah. The fucking whatchamacallit, the bird stuff could just be an asshole, technically, right?
It could be. I'm not saying
it could be, but please look in general for me, good sir.
Oh, just one sec. Okay?
Do you see what I put?
Yes.
Now, how is this an asshole? This is literally established. A random bird is just hovering over a falco, and then later on we find out, boom, future memory. How can you dismiss that as an asshole? It's in the story.
Because I don't know how birds can be subjects of Ymir. I don't understand.
They're not subjects of Ymir. They're part of the source of all life, bro. Like, this is not complicated.
Why not then shouldn't so
Okay, so like if Aaron can fucking recreate nature itself, you're telling me it's such a stretch that he can fucking affect birds?
as far as we know, he can see through the eyes of them and maybe act as them. I don't fucking know exactly what he does.
Bro, the anime has a scene where Aaron literally creates a flower. He literally creates a flower in the anime. How is that
Where?
possible? In what was it, episode 7 or 8? You know when he protects Mikasa, Armin, and them from like the cannon fire? Isayama had Wit insert a new flower like underneath in between his titan, like inside of his titan. There's just a random flower grows there. And it's meant to demonstrate essentially that yeah, the founding titan is connected to nature itself, right? Zeke literally admits the founder can create anything. Like nothing is beyond its power, and that's because it's literally connected to the source of all life. So, with that in mind, is it truly an asshole?
Creating a
All the
flower
birds
is
part of
one
that power,
thing, but how do you control birds?
bruh.
I don't understand. So if you can control birds, that means you can control wolves, you can control foxes as well, everything in the nature. Yes, that's what you're trying to tell me?
Bro, like
Yes
you're
or
asking.
no?
I'm trying to stick to the source material, but you're just like going
No.
left field and talking
If the
about like,
source material is telling me that he controls birds, and you're telling me it means it controls the nature itself, then is he controlling the wolves, the whole fucking ecosystem of the entire world?
theoretically, let's say I take this bullshit that you're saying seriously. Theoretically, yes, he could control a fucking wolf if that's what you want me to admit. Technically, yes.
So technically, every humanity,
But like, what purpose would that
everyone in
serve?
humanity should be connected to that fucking thing in the past, right? Everyone, not just subjects of Ymir. Then
No, because only Ymir's blood is only in subjects of Ymir, and Ymir is the founding titan. If all of humanity was
But you
part of
can-
that
You
power,
argue that you can move birds as well with the same fucking power.
okay, so what's your point?
I'm saying it doesn't make sense.
Oh, that he can control birds? Like, what do you want me to do about it? It's the
What is
source of
birds?
all life. Like, you want me to
I
explain
don't-
why Isayama made that choice?
Birds is another problem. I'm saying you're trying to tell me he controls the fucking nature, everything.
Bro, I literally showed you a panel of him looking through the eyes of a bird.
Okay, if you're gonna control you're arguing that he controls nature itself, right?
But you're giving me a whataboutism, like, oh,
I'm not giving what about
he can do that, but what about birds? I mean, what about dogs?
I'm telling you what controlling nature really means.
Look, bro, you're gonna have to ask Isayama about that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, that's one point where I can't give you the answer because it's kind of like, it's kind of stupid, bro.
Maybe
Like,
it's just
I don't know
fucking
what to tell you.
asshole, and that's all there
Okay.
is.
But like, do you realize even if you think that fucking it's bullshit about the nature, it doesn't change the fact that he fucking has
Okay,
the
let me
memories
ask
through
you
a
this.
bird's eyes. Like,
If
it's
you
in the
wanna
story.
it's in the story. Why? Sure, why not? Why not? Flaws, plot holes, fucking assholes exist in the stories. You know.
Okay,
I know
but
it's a big shocker.
Chapter 91, Falco has a bird flying over him. Chapter 130, there's a fucking future memory of a Falco above him. There's no need to look any deeper into that. That's a memory through a bird. Can we please accept that and move on? Like, you're bullshitting me just to avoid answering my fucking question, which was that the power of the Titan still exists.
Because as I said before, the paths is not
Okay,
limited
bro.
time. That's why.
The referee wants to talk. What's up, bro?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'm accepting the bird stuff.
I've accepted that. I don't know why he hasn't.
No, I'm accepting the bird stuff, even if it sounds fucking ridiculous. What
You
I'm not
haven't.
accepting is an argument that he controls the entire fucking nature and ecosystem. That's what I'm gonna accept.
Bro, I said, you asked me why he's able to control birds, and I gave you the answer that is because his power is connected to the
I'm
source
just
of all
saying
life.
this. No, you misunderstand.
However you want to go through there, it doesn't matter.
You're misunderstanding my point. I'm saying I'm accepting this bird shit, but it's still an asshole.
Okay.
What does an asshole mean?
I'll admit that. I'll admit that.
It happens in the story, but it doesn't make any sense. That's what
Okay,
it means.
I'll admit that, bro. I'll admit that if you admit that the power of Titans still exists, because you have to grant both. One can't exist
I mean,
without
you
the other.
didn't disprove my point about paths being unlimited, not bound to the time.
Bro.
That's what I'm saying. My argument is that he is able.
Your argument is based off headcanon. My argument is based off the actual
it's
source
establishing
material.
the fucking story that paths is not bound by the
No.
time.
That is true. That is true. But it's also established that they need a fucking founding titan to actually do anything with it. So, sucks to be you, buddy. But get some source material to back that up.
Mm-hmm. Source
Here,
material also
look in general once again. Another memory through a bird's eyes. Like, whew, crazy. It's almost like it was established. Huh? Look at that, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy,
And
right? I
what
know.
does he exactly do with those birds? What do you think his extent of power is with the birds?
For me, the whole point it just so happens, like my good moderator friend here said, it just happens to be what Aaron likes to use, like for his purposes of
he's
breaking the
using
time
them.
loop.
Yes, I'm asking how it's.
You're asking me why he's using them?
Yeah, what exactly?
I think he's using them to gather memories. So if we believe that Aaron is in a time loop, right? If we believe he's in a time loop and that he's going through the same process over and over and over until he finally diverges and gets clear of his blah 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 whatever, he gets his freedom, he ends the power of the Titans for good, such and such, such and such and such. Then you also have to admit that if his power continues to exist, it means it has to exist for a reason. Because the story as it told us, let us know that the power of the Titans would end when Mikasa made a choice. And the manga seems to imply that choice was in 139. But then we later find out, oh wait, shit is still happening. The fucking birds are still flying and the tree is still growing and the power of the Titans seems to still exist. If that's the case, that means Mikasa did not make the fucking choice that would end the power of the Titans. And if you agree with that, you have to admit there's an anime original ending. Because there's no other possible explanation.
Well, there's two explanations. One that I already provided. You do not agree with it. Other explanations are you don't like to hear them, but they're always a possibility. As both.
Bro, I don't have to admit anything when the source material literally backs me up. Like I don't have to make like your explanation. Your explanation was that the pads are still existing.
The source material is showing you way fucking shit that can't be seen however the fuck you want it to be seen. And you choose to see that Eren is controlling the fucking ecosystem of the planet Earth itself.
No. Don't try to make it sound stupid so that it's unbelievable. We saw fucking birds in chapter 91 above Falco.
We saw birds. We never saw anything else beyond birds.
We saw memories and we see birds. We see birds and we see fucking memories.
Yes, we saw birds. Memories, yes.
Without even convoluting it at all,
no, but when you use the bird's argument, you're trying to argue that he controls the fucking whole nature.
Oh god. What?
Yes,
okay,
that's what you said before to me. That's what I'm.
Okay. That's what I said. I don't give a fuck. So, do you admit that he controls birds?
Sort of, yes.
You bringing up that he controls nature and shit that it doesn't really make sense doesn't refute the fact that he controls fucking birds.
Not me. I'm just saying that.
But it doesn't refute the fact that he controls birds and uses them to move memories.
I said 20 times that I
okay. So now
I literally said what an asshole means.
Yes. I agree with you. Now, because of that, I have an actual explanation for why, with your stupid, he saw a nightmare sequence and foreshadowed shit. I have an actual explanation as to why he saw see you later.
Go ahead.
Look in general. There it is again! The bird strikes again. You see the fucking bird in the chapter 138 panel? That bird was able to transfer the memory over to Eren in chapter 1. Boom. Easy.
Okay, I never actually.
So why is that bird there in your opinion? Like, why is there a living bird in a pad simulation in your opinion? It doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, Eren just wanted a decoration, so he had a bird flying around during See You Later, Eren.
I mean, I never actually thought of this connection.
Because it's there for a reason. And if you'll notice, Velo, that bird is not the same one from 131. So it disproves any notion.
I mean, we've seen all kinds of birds.
No, but we know that we saw the seagull transferring memories to Armin or whatever, right? Like we saw that happen in 131. Like the seagull literally leaves as Armin's about to leave. I mean, as Armin snaps out of his Pad's meeting with Eren. So we know there's a connection there. So this one in 138, if you don't agree that it is a time loop, it literally serves no purpose to be here. It's just a random drawing by Isayama. I'm trying to tell you that the bird is here. The bird is here to capture the memory of Eren dying. That is what I think.
Okay, that could unironically explain chapter 1. And I could agree with this. This is unironically a good fucking idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. AOE is the only way to explain the story.
Okay, but it does not necessarily confirm a different
Okay, even if that's true, but you at least admit that the only way for the story to be complete is if there's more. Like if there's something else.
No, not necessarily, not.
Okay,
because
then how do you explain that?
What's the point to grow another tree in the extra pages if you want to go for them, right? timeline.
It's essentially showing you that the power of the Titans is still active. That's the whole point. That's why the bird is still wrapped
No,
in the
I
scarf.
think the point
It
was
all connects back to my
cycle
point in chapter
continue.
50. Chapter
No.
50, where Aaron makes his founder's vow. How is it so outlandish that Aaron would make a founder's vow that would loop him over and over after his death, and that's somehow unbelievable? But when this old fart Karl Fritz did his vow renouncing war, even after his death, his effects continued to move on, didn't they? They were still affecting the people of his bloodline. So if Aaron does something more broad, more abstract, I will wrap that scarf around you forever, as much as you want, now and forever, yada yada yada. His word choice literally gives her all of the power. It's as much as Mikasa wants. So until the loop ends, until Mikasa makes the choice to let go of Eren, which she literally admitted in chapter 138, no, I can't do that. She made the wrong choice. As such, the fucking goofy birds continue to fly around. The scarf got wrapped around her once again. The tree grew back. The cycle repeats. My whole justification for all of this is that it is a time loop that Eren is trying to end. That's why all of this shit is still going on after his death. Because the founder's power, maintaining Eren's vow from chapter 50 to Mikasa, is continuing to loop him over and over, because that is something that
No, that's not how it would work. Mechanically, that's not how it would work. Mechanically, if you want to argue that the birds, he sends the birds even after his death in the future, to collect memories and shit, right? He should receive all those memories from the birds later on. Because if you want to argue that the paths still continue to exist, then he should receive all those memories. He shouldn't receive them in different timelines. He should receive all of the same fucking memories in the same fucking time. And then act based on those fucking memories, but he doesn't. How are you gonna explain me this?
You're telling me that
because that's how time works.
Time works?
Yes.
Bro, this story literally... We're talking about a time that transcends time. We're talking about a story where the future affects the past.
Yes, that's how he transfers time. He can recollect the shit of the birds, right? And he should receive all those memories.
Right, so that's my point. He will receive those memories.
So why he's not getting those memories in fucking chapter 120 or so?
Because the only thing that he had done prior to the manga was die in the cabin. The only memories that he had in his residue, the only thing that he had within him was what he had seen in the cabin. Because he hadn't actually gone that far. So look, let's say it's a loop, right? If you agree that it's a loop, it's about Eren getting to a certain point until he fails and then retries. And he goes to a certain point a little ahead, he fails, then he retries. And then now that he's in the final loop, he's going to accomplish what he wants to do and end the loop. Now let's say you're saying, oh, why doesn't he have all the memories all at once? He technically does, if you think about it. In the cabin, we don't know what he saw. All we're left to believe is that, yeah, he didn't like what he ended up doing. He failed and that he looped again. In the manga, he has his memories of the cabin, but he also has memories of the future. Technically, he does have all of the memories, if you think about it. He just doesn't have the whole picture, like Zeke mentioned. He has only seen glimpses. And because of those glimpses, the journey there is left to him to piece together, right?
It doesn't make sense. You're not focusing on the mechanics. I'm once again asking, can you explain me how time works? I'm not asking time looping, how the time works in general.
You're asking me, you're talking about linear time, right? From one point to another. So we know that Attack on Titan does not abide by linear time. Well, at least Titan does not abide by linear time.
With the paths in mind, he sees the fucking future memories. So why not he shouldn't receive the future memories from those birds later on?
He already had those future memories. What do you mean?
So he has the future memories, so why he needs another timeline when he can act now if he has those memories?
Those weren't his... Oh, if you watched my entire video, you would know the answer to that. My point was that he had to...
Okay, give me the answer. I'm
my answer to you is that he had to fulfill Ymir's wish.
And what's that wish?
To be free of the agony of love.
So it's fulfilled.
Right, and now he wakes up again in the anime, where he will not have to fulfill that wish. He will be able to fulfill his own, which was the entire point of the time.
But if it's a different timeline, then her wish will not be fulfilled. It will be...
It's a loop.
She will be screwed in a...
For the sake of what I'm trying to explain to you, think of it as a do-over. Like, don't think about it as like, oh, something that exists.
No, you're thinking like this is Muv-Love, man. This is not Muv-Love.
Do you have any actual arguments, or are you just going to continue to headcanon and...
No, that's not headcanoning. You're arguing like this is Muv-Love. Like there's actually going to be a fucking Attack on Titan alternative Attack on Titan progressive shit like that. It's not gonna happen.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I'm arguing that the fucking time works differently. If he actually has these memories, he would act based on them right fucking now. He doesn't need to time loop 25 times. He doesn't need to see
So
another
basically, you're
timeline.
saying that because it's dumb to you, it's not true. That's what you're telling me.
No, because the thing about fucking future memories, most of the memories that he sees will happen no matter what. So if he receives those fucking memories from the birth in the future, it will probably happen, and it doesn't matter, and it doesn't necessarily say that he will have control over those events. Don't you think that's what's happening?
You're telling me that he's essentially in a set path each time. That's what you're trying to tell me.
Set path?
A set path, like he has no free will.
Set path. Yes, in a sense, it is a set path. Some of it is his own will, and some of it is not exactly his own control. Some of
that's not a set
some
path,
of it is his decisions that he has to make. Yes.
You told me some of it is his own will, some of it isn't. If some of it is his own will, that means he has free choice.
I don't think his will is to kill Grisha's mother, but it's a thing he has to do. Because it's set in stone. It's just something out. It's just how it is. Does it make sense, or should I elaborate?
No, you're not really making any sense, bro. Like, you're just saying it's a set path.
Okay, what part of it doesn't make sense?
I already explained to you why it doesn't make sense, because he has already done something differently.
He done differently what? He didn't kill Grisha? He didn't kill, Carla in something, or?
I'm telling you, okay. Like, we're gonna end up being circular as fuck and just going back to chapter 138.
I already embraced it, and also it's almost 3 a.m. I can give one more hour, and maybe we could do part 2 later. It's up to you.
But like, what did you actually agree with today? Like, what have I said that actually?
I agree mostly with the birds.
Okay, but do you realize agreeing with the birds means you agree that the power of Titans didn't end?
No, I think the birds function differently from your interpretation of them.
No, they're part of the power of the Titans. That's the only time Eren's ever used them.
I agree. I don't know how the fuck it actually works. I agree that they related to Eren, and Eren can use them. I agree with
that. But Eren is dead.
Yes, he is dead. I agree with that as well.
Yeah, so if you're agreeing with all of that, that means you're agreeing that the power of the Titans is still active, because Eren is a Titan. He's not something else.
No, that's the part I don't agree with. I think that these memories that he can see from the birds can function outside of like time limits because of the fucking paths. I think he can see more, but it doesn't mean he's gonna get more out of it.
Eren said, "I don't know what happens after I die," so you've been contradicted by the plot. So I don't know what you're trying to argue here.
But you argue that he uses the birds to see past his death, right?
I argue that the birds continue moving the memories. Yes, but I never said that.
Wait, so but they do continue moving his memories after his death, right?
Right, because
so you contradict yourself as well.
No, because
yes,
if you watched my video, all of this would make sense to you. I'm trying to say,
I'll watch your fucking video, okay, man.
The pads is the determinism of Attack on Titan. The memories moving around, the will to act, the fucking Titan bodies that appeared in front of them. That is all done through the pads.
It's part of it, yes, but that's not the whole
putting that effect onto the real world.
It's not always.
If the founder's powers are gone, why are you still trying to tell me that the pads are continuing to do shit? Like, if we agree that Mikasa made a choice, and that choice was to kill Eren and end the power of the Titans, like, let's say the manga ending is what it is, right? And that this is the definitive ending. If that was the case, the fucking birds would not still be moving around, and the tree would not be growing above the ground. Like, those things, like, you're telling me Isayama's contradicting his own message just to have a good wank.
Like, what ask for his own story. I don't fucking know what the fuck. I still don't understand how the fuck tree grows.
He's not making another manga, so there's not a sequel bait. That can't be it. We know that the birds have only ever been used by the power of the Titans.
Okay, and this season of anime will be the very last one, right?
Yes, and I'm trying to tell you that this season of the anime will end the story completely. I'm trying to tell you that the power of the Titans will end.
How many episodes is it going to happen? 6 episodes or so? How many? 12 episodes?
I think maybe like 12, 13. 12
Do you really
13. I think 13 is a good number, though, because it's kind of like symbolic.
Do you really think that's enough?
13? Yeah, absolutely. What do you mean? Is that enough?
I mean, it might be a rush, but sure, let's take it. Okay, why not?
As it is.
No. Okay, no, this is just reaching. I don't know. This is just.
Yeah, 100 episodes? That's fucking fire. What do you mean, bro? 13 is perfect. He'll do 13. Hundo P. No, Hundo P. He's gonna do 13, my boy. You guys don't even know. Like, it's gonna be so fucking good. The anime original ending will happen. Velo here will be like, "Oh, I guess it wasn't a nightmare sequence. I guess it really was a time loop."
I mean, if I will be wrong, I'll say I was wrong. You don't have to worry about me admitting that I was wrong. That's not going to be a
I'm
problem.
not worried, bro. I'm gonna be too busy enjoying it to worry about that.
No, I mean, I'm once again, if I will be proven wrong, I'll be proven wrong. There's no big deal for me to admit that I was wrong. I was arrogant, and that's it.
Okay, so to summarize, 138, you think it's the nightmare sequence, but you admit that the power of the Titans is continuing to exist.
138. You mean chapter 1 or what?
Like chapter one, Aaron had a nightmare sequence or something, and then he saw the future randomly.
Yes, I think that's most likely scenario. Yes.
Okay, fair. But the bird point. You agree with the bird point. So why was there a bird in chapter 138?
I agree to most of it, but not all of it.
But what about chapter 138? Why is there a bird?
Chapter 138 bird?
Why is there a bird at the time of Aaron's death?
As I said, I admit 138 can admit that
it could be a loop.
Not necessarily a loop. It's just a memory.
Oh yes, but a memory is something that happened, right?
Yes, memories do happen.
Oh no, it's over, boys. He admitted it. He admitted it was a memory. No. It's not a fucking past dream. He just admitted it was a memory. You guys heard that, right?
You can remember what happens in paths.
No. It's too late now. Too late.
So when Armin admits that he remembers what happened in 139 Armin, was it a different timeline then, or did he remember what happened in paths?
No, but Armin can have his memories manipulated because they can't. That's the
wait. So you're trying to say that what happened with Armin in 149 was not paths thing, but different timeline as well, or something?
No, that's not what I said, bro. What are you saying? I said no. Listen. The thing is, you're not understanding, right? Is you're under the impression that Aaron is the one who showed Mikasa the 138 stuff. I'm telling you that's not true. Mikasa herself.
Aaron was a catalyst. It is possible to do it to him. How else is it gonna work?
No, it can work because Mikasa herself has memories. Like, listen. If Mikasa is able to revisit memories of other loops, right? In order to avoid facing the reality of Aaron's death.
Mikasa has power to revisit to loops? In what way?
Not revisit loops. The memories.
What memories? How?
Listen.
What the fuck are you talking about? What Mikasa has to do with this?
This guy needs to watch my video. So basically, I want you to do a few things for me, okay? In order for you to actually understand like what I'm trying to explain to you, okay? Watch the Lost Girls OVA.
I've seen that.
Okay, then what happened there? Was that not the same thing as 138?
No, that was a dream, literally.
No, stop. Because is faced with Aaron's death, she goes into some random loop or like some memory sequence, whatever. She literally her own subconscious tells her, if you don't like this reality, do it all over again. Blah, 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 blah. And then she phases into some other thing. And as soon as Aaron dies, she sees the memories of the fucking anime loop and returns right back to it. And when she wakes up, she says, I suddenly had the feeling that I had seen a long dream. The exact same thing that every single character in Attack on Titan said when they saw a memory. That is my point to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, look at what Sean put in general right now. I had Miss Annie. I had a dream. No, not a dream. A memory. Aaron in fucking the cage. In jail. I feel like I woke up from the longest dream when he's connected to his father's memories. Chapter 1. When Aaron wakes up from his dream, he's like, oh, I had a long dream. Mikasa in chapter 138, it feels like I just had a long dream. Mm-hmm. Are these as pulls or are these memories? You tell me. Because 2 out of these 3 situations were memories. Are you telling me the third one wasn't? Look, Falco confirms it was a memory. Aaron confirms it was a memory. Mikasa also says she saw a long dream. So was Mikasa lying?
No.
So it's probably a memory.
She remembers what happens in the paths.
Listen, I gotta go get dinner.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
It was fun debating with you, bro, and we can definitely do this again some other time.
Yeah, later. I mean, I need to read the manga. Once again, I don't remember. I don't study this manga religiously.
Read 130 to 139 and rewatch part 2, and then all will be clear.
Okay, sure. I'm down to debate again. I'll give you that. You were probably one of more competent guys out there. I still think you're reaching in some areas, especially with some stuff. But
Like
But to
what?
give the credit where credit is due, you were actually a pretty good guy. I didn't
Let's
expect
go.
that you were
Let's go.
actually
No,
had
I'm,
actual interesting theories that I haven't heard before.
no. Why
You caught
why
me
they
off
make
guard. I
sense?
wasn't prepared for most of the theories. I didn't know you were. I was expecting for more general, generic points I was used to. So I need to prepare next time to your
Yeah,
actual arguments.
yeah. Listen, bro. The reason why my arguments make sense is because they're real. Like they make sense because the story literally
They
makes sense.
kind of make sense, I would admit. But the
Like
conclusions you come with, that's where I'm debating. I don't think that's the conclusion you should draw. There's a different time.
I'm not saying there's a different time. I'm saying there's loops, and that Aaron is going over and over until he
Okay,
finishes.
why it cannot be just paths where you receive those memories from?
But if you admit that, you're admitting that like the entire story is a pad sequence, technically. Because if there is, let's say that it
The
was all
story
pad,
does have a lot of those deterministic shit, yeah. So it does
right?
happen in a way.
But like it removes the power of choice, which has been so prominent through Attack on Titan. Even
That's
the
why
biggest
I
choice.
don't like the ending.
No, but you don't understand. Even the final chapter has Mikasa making a choice. If she makes a choice, it means there is an option. Do you understand?
Yes, she's making a choice that will happen
if
eventually
it's,
anyway.
but if it's determined, she would not be making a choice. And they even make clear to us that whatever her choice was, regardless of what it is, we don't know what it is. We know that the result will end the power of the Titans, and
We
we
can
see the
assume
power.
very easily what the choice will be based on chapter 1. It's bloody obvious, man.
Let me continue. Regardless of what you think that choice was, I disagree with you. I think her choice is letting go of Eren, but that's not what happened. She held on to him in 138, and she cut off his head, blah, 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 and the
No,
power of the
it's letting
Titans.
go. It's definitely letting it go.
It's not letting go, bro. She got
Yes, it
buried
is.
with the... Bro, Velo, she visited his grave every single day. She brought him flowers.
There's a
And when she... No, stop. Let me continue. I know you're going to laugh and be like, oh, bro, she killed him. She clearly moved on. She's fucking Jean and she has a kid. No.
That's partly what I would say, but not
My
all
point
of it.
is she's connected to Aaron. She still has the physical proof of their bond, the scarf. She's even buried in that
You're
scarf.
asking her to make her love disappear for him.
She needs to let go of Aaron. That, like, you don't
Yeah,
understand.
she needs to let it go, but it doesn't mean her feelings will vanish away that very instant.
No, you're right, absolutely, and that's my point.
So
I'm
of
telling
course
you,
she's
it's
gonna
all
lose the
connected.
debate. She's gonna remember him as a friend, someone that she liked.
Like I'm saying, this is all connected to my theory that it's all a loop based on the vow that Aaron made to her in chapter 50. That he will loop over and over to wrap the scarf around her, right? And think about it. Even when she misses him in chapter 139, she's like, "Oh, I miss you so much," and then her scarf falls off, and poof, the bird flies down and wraps that shit around her, and such. The loop continues. Do you see what I'm coming through here?
Yes, I just don't agree to the conclusion that you come up with. I think that the outcome should be different.
Wait. So you do admit that the chapter 50 vow is relevant?
Thematically speaking, yes, it is relevant.
And
Very important.
don't you think it's also relevant to the fact that Aaron is looping?
I don't think he's looping. I think this means different.
Okay, even if you don't think he's looping, do you not think? Don't you agree that that bird wrapped the scarf in what and is connected to chapter 50
yes,
now? Because she said the same line she says to him. Not thematically, she literally said the same line to him. She's like, "You wrap this scarf around me."
Okay, before knowing about the bird thing, before I found out about this bird thing, I never thought of this, right? I just thought that it makes sense thematically that the bird wraps, the scarf around Mikasa, just like Aaron promised.
But now there's more.
That makes sense.
Right, but now that you have more context, do you not agree that there's something more to it? Especially the fact that Aaron's fucking dead and he should not be able to do that. Period.
Necessarily, maybe he managed his will lived to the burst and they just did his will. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it's not like he's controlling this burst. Maybe all he can do is just see through the bird's eyes. And maybe some of the birds have his will. Maybe they're not intelligent enough to connect every single memory out there out of his death. We don't really know that much. What is extent of this? So I don't want to go out of fucking proportions to theorize something that may be or may not be.
Well, I guess we'll see. Well,
we'll see.
I'll talk to you later, okay?
I think it's reaching. I'll definitely debate some other time, but I need to read the manga and remember a lot more things because I wasn't prepared for most of your points, and I'll have to say that this debate you were probably better of me. I'll just admit that I wasn't prepared.
It's okay, bro. Don't worry about it. Just reread the manga and we'll talk again, okay?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
All right, cool. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, see ya.
Peace.
Peace.